Welcome, everyone. Today, we are exploring unmasking mirth in Shakespeare's great comedies. We will look at love, illusion, and subversion in the Elizabethan era through a structural lens. Let's begin with four foundational themes of these plays. First is the journey to the green world, a concept by Northrop Frye representing the transition from an oppressive court to a liberating, chaotic natural realm like a forest or island. Second, we see identity and disguise, highlighting the early modern stage use of cross-dressing and the profound fluidity of gender roles. Third is the irrationality of love, portraying desire as a magical, sudden, and chaotic force rather than a rational choice. Finally, these plays always feature social order restored, resolving chaos with multiple marriages and returning societal harmony. Let's look at the canonical quartet of these great comedies, written between 1595 and 1602. We begin with A Midsummer Night's Dream, marking the start of this peak period. Next is The Merchant of Venice, a complex transitional work. Then comes As You Like It, and finally Twelfth Night, the concluding masterpiece of this era. Structurally, these plays share a specific anatomy. They begin with an initial conflict forcing characters to flee their everyday world. This leads to chaos in a liminal space, a middle ground where social rules are suspended. Finally, this five-act structure inevitably concludes with a marital resolution, celebrating marriage and order. Turning to our first play, A Midsummer Night's Dream explores the psychological implications of crossing between different realities. We have the Athenian court, governed by rigid laws, daylight, and rational order. Contrasting this are the mechanicals, representing the working class, earthly reality, and meta-theatrical humor. Then, there is the fairyland, ruled by nature, nighttime, magic, and subconscious desires. A key element here is the love potion, which acts as a metaphor showcasing the arbitrary and chaotic power of desire. Furthermore, the play utilizes meta-theater, the play within a play, Pyramus and Thisbe, parodies tragic romance and cleverly foreshadows the structure of Romeo and Juliet. Next is The Merchant of Venice, a play defined by its intense genre ambiguity and the weighing of justice against mercy. This tension exists between two worlds. Belmont represents the romantic fairy tale, associated with mercy, feminine power through Portia, and folklore logic, like the three caskets emphasizing appearance versus reality. Conversely, Venice represents mercantile reality, associated with strict justice, masculine commerce, harsh legal contracts demanding a pound of flesh, and strict vengeance. This creates a problem play, while structurally a comedy ending in Belmont Marriages, it is heavily weighed down by the tragic, unresolved psychological depth of Shylock's plot. In As You Like It, Shakespeare exposes pastoral artificiality through disguise. The Forest of Arden is the quintessential green world, a liminal space where rigid courtly norms are entirely suspended, inverted, and mocked. Here we meet Rosalind, disguised as Ganymede, the ultimate Shakespearean heroine who wields total mastery of language. She uses this gender performativity to actively educate her lover about the reality of love, powerfully asserting female agency. The forest also serves as a backdrop to contrast melancholy and folly. We have Jock the Cynic, famous for declaring all the world's a stage, contrasting with Touchstone the Wise Fool, who exposes truth through absurdity. Both are crucial commentators on human nature. Twelfth Night navigates themes of madness, mourning, and misrule. Its title references the Feast of Epiphany, a historical holiday defined by social inversion, heavy drinking, and the reign of the Lord of Misrule. At the center is a triangle of desire between Orsino, Olivia, and Viola disguised as Cesario. This unbroken loop highlights the deeply narcissistic and blinding nature of romantic infatuation. However, the play also explores the dark side of comedy through the psychological torment and imprisonment of Malvolio. This leaves the audience with a profound question: is his punishment a necessary comedic expulsion of a killjoy, or a remarkably cruel overstep? Looking at the evolution of the comic vision, we see how Shakespeare's maturing views reshaped structural tropes. For instance, the function of the fool shifted from mere physical slapstick to a vehicle for profound philosophical truth and social critique, as seen with Touchstone and Fest. Shakespeare also demonstrates linguistic brilliance, seamlessly shifting between structural modes. He utilizes verse for nobility and romance, while prose is weaponized for commoners, comedy, and madness. Finally, While marriage acts as the ultimate mechanism for social integration and order, Shakespeare deliberately leaves one character isolated, such as Antonio, Doc, or Malvolio. This serves as a lingering reminder of harsh reality amidst the comic resolution. Finally, how do we read these early modern comedies in the 21st century? Modern literary theory proves these frameworks are dynamic tools for contemporary issues. Through queer theory and gender studies, modern stagings embrace the homoerotic undertones and profound gender fluidity inherent in the original context, where boy actors played women disguised as men. Postcolonial and ethical readings demand that contemporary audiences grapple with uncomfortable ethical elements, such as the virulent anti-Semitism and forced religious conversion in The Merchant of Venice. Ultimately, Shakespearean comedy is not merely escapism, it is a profound exploration of human vulnerability, social structures, and the enduring power of empathy and wit. Thank you.